The Syenann Elves from Warcrow are absolutely stunning miniatures, but let's be honest, the box art colour scheme? Yeah, kinda sucks. Sucks harder than Sagatha.
I've done a trick or two. What do you have in mind?
Alright, maybe that's a little bit harsh, but the cheerful summer green leans way too hard into Wood Elf cliches. And the Syenann? They're a vicious, territorial race of elves. The bright greens and warm skin tones look nice, but they don't feel like Syenann. So instead of summer, I want to explore the other seasons for inspiration. When I'm really excited to paint a model, like these ones, I start by building a color palette that tells a story. I search for forest photos from spring, autumn, and winter. Each one helped me explore contrasts, vibrancy, and temperature. Here's a forest in winter. The cold blues and whites, the dark tree trunks, and those golden rays from the sun. To pull a color palette from this photo, I used coolers.com. Upload your image, pick your colors, drag them into place. It's fast, easy, and super helpful. I did the same for spring and autumn. Lined them up side by side, broke down my choices into 3 areas: clothing and armor, skin tones, equipment and weapons. So let's start with winter. For the clothing, icy blues and violets. For the skin, a warm ochre, angelic and coldly superior. For the weapons, deep bark browns. Spring was vibrant, greens and blooming pinks for clothing, dark rich browns for the skin, and warm greys for the gear. And for autumn, autumn had subtle shifts, reds, oranges, ochres. The tree trunks gave me pale blues, perfect for skin tones, and muted woodland greens made great accents. So which one? Spring felt too cheerful. Winter was close, but autumn captured both beauty and threat. So that's where we're going. Right, brushes out, let's get started. Using the autumn swatch, I picked paints from my collection. It doesn't have to be exact, we're just looking for colors that feel right and help tell the story and set the atmosphere. I started with a dark brown base coat for the clothing and gear. Why? Well, 1, it gives strong contrast to the skin, and 2, it ties the whole model together with a common tone. Next up, the skin. I mixed Prussian blue with black and white to create a cold, desaturated blue-grey. I like using fewer paints and mixing with black and white for a wider tonal range. It keeps things versatile. And it also keeps my wallet safe from impulse paint shopping. But in all seriousness though, it does carry the benefit of improving my understanding of colour as I learn to mix and produce shades and tones that I don't actually own. With the base coat on, I gradually highlighted by adding more white, focusing on upper surfaces catching light. And it got a lot brighter than I expected. Almost like one of them giant smurfs. But honestly, I liked it. Sometimes the combination of paints surprise you, and that's okay. Then it was time for the clothing. This model's gear is made of forest fauna, so I painted layered autumn leaves. Reds, oranges, ochres, and yellows. First, I mixed each with the base brown to keep everything feeling connected. Later layers used purer colors, and the final highlights included ice yellow for a warm pop. Since orange and blue are opposites on the color wheel, this gave me a really strong, appealing contrast. For a third tone, I went with muted greens, dark, desaturated, and soft. These covered the bow, pants, and... wait, is that a fringe jacket? Okay, I think I have the scheme for some springtime Syenann. One of my favorite parts of the sculpt is the fact that the quiver is a pitcher plant. I mean, that's just cool. It works as a quiver, and it ties into the lore, letting the Syenann poison their arrows with natural toxins. I love this type of storytelling in the sculpting and design. I found a real picture plant photo that fit the scheme, warm green with deep purples. I blocked in the greens, then accented with purple. Highlighting with a pink-leaning lavender. Subtle, but visually rich. For the blade, I did some quick non-metallic metal. Black, white, and a hint of blue. Easy peasy. And now, the eyes. Please, I see this mistake made too many times. Always black out the eye sockets first. It creates contrast and stops the white of the eye from disappearing into the skin. Once blacked, I place the white inside, leaving a black border. But I wanted to make this Syenann more threatening, so I made the whites of the eyes orange. It added intensity and great contrast to the blue skin. Just remember, orange has weak coverage, so use white underneath to keep it bright. Adding the pupils in black, and that stare was intense. For the hair, I went orange again. To make shadows, I mixed orange with its complementary color, blue. That gave me a muted greenish base. Then I layered up to pure orange for highlights. It reads beautifully and contrasts well with the skin. The base was simple, but effective. Everything got a brown base coat. The branch was highlighted with grey-green, with darker green washes for variety. The grass was dry-brushed, woodland green, yellow-green, and finally the same again, but with a touch of white. Rocks got a dark grey base, leaving some brown showing through, and a quick grey edge highlight. And yes, always finish by painting the rim of the base black. You wouldn't hang a beautiful picture without a frame, so don't forget one for your mini. And that's it. This was a really fun project. Even though I aimed for a more muted skin tone, the brighter blue gave the model a frosty, ethereal vibe that I really like. I've painted another Syenann with a darker tone as well, and I'll keep playing with a variety of skin tones across the army. Uniform, but diverse, the way people are, just a bit more blue than us mere mortals. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please drop a like, subscribe for more painting and wargaming videos, and why not check out one of these other guides while you're here. Take care, and see you in the next video. Bye-bye!